Hello, Internet. James Allen from Out of 8, and today I'm playing turn-based strategy game Brother Against Brother, The Drawing of the Sword. This is the first in a planned series of strategy games that deals with the American Civil War. This particular game focuses on battles near the beginning of the Civil War, so it offers 25 scenarios spread over 4 different battles. It has the First Manassas, also known as First Bull Run, Mill Springs, a different area of Mill Springs, Williamsburg, and Wilson's Creek. And it has different sizes from basically the entire battle to smaller engagements for a shorter game time. Game also features server-based play-by-email using Slytherin's multiplayer server, which is always well done as usual. The objective is to capture victory locations within the time limit. So I'm going to choose one of these scenarios here. I'm going to choose this one and play as the Confederacy. You can choose from a disturbingly large number of difficulty levels. So I'm going to pick the Lieutenant Colonel one here, and then we'll start under a game. Alright, so they give you the little briefing before the scenario begins. Click OK. And here we go. So you'll first notice the graphics of the game are pretty outdated. The presentation as a whole is not very good. Text is hard to read. The game really kind of looks like an early 90s game. Has very poor animations. It stutters as you span the map. Just feels like it has very poor performance, which is something that it really shouldn't do. And definitely doesn't look as good as some of the other Civil War games that have come out recently. The one thing I do like about the interface are these little color-coded squares underneath each unit that pretty clearly show the superior commanding officer to that. So you can see all these little yellow with red on the outside is commanded by the yellow red on the outside circle guy, and his commanding officer are the just red units, and you can see the green units over here too. So I think that's really well done. It also has these little check marks for units that don't have any movement points left, and little red X's for threatened hexes, but other than that it's not very well done for the interface. It does have a unit roster over here that shows you everything, so you can see the color codes there too, which is kind of nice. But you can select things from here, but you can't give them any orders while the order of battle is out for some odd reason. There's a lot of other weird things about the interface like that. The way that the game works is units are divided, as you can see over here, into armies, which are divided into corps, divisions, brigades, and regiments. And you can move the regiments around. But the interesting thing is that when you click on a brigade, the brigade leader has an order that he gives to the entire brigade. So right now they're set to march column. So you can also have rally, hold, withdrawal, advance, assault, mass charge. And then that goes for every unit under their command. So I think that's interesting that it really wants you to have the whole brigade kind of doing the same thing, which I think is very interesting. And there's some other orders for their superiors. You can focus on a particular hex. You can have an entire division try to quickly move towards a location on the map, stuff like that. And also all the units have very detailed weapons information and leader tributes and all that stuff, as you would expect in a historical game like this. So my objective is to capture these objective locations up here, these little stars that are slowly animating on the top of the map. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take my yellow guys and put them over here on this side, and then I'll keep my green guys over on the right. So select a unit. Units, you just click to move them, so I'm going to move them here. I'm going to right click to face them up, and I'm going to put them in line formation, which loses their remaining movement. That's okay because I didn't really want to move them anyway. And then I'll do the same thing with the rest of the units. So put them kind of in line with them.
My company into line! March!
I suspect I will be encountering some enemy units in the trees up here.
March!
Let's take the 29th up there. having it text-based sometimes messes up the facing. Like if you have a unit over here, there's not really, you know, are you supposed to face up or to the angle? Because it only faces towards adjacent hexes. So it's kind of weird in that sense. Let me send my guy up there. So those guys are good. Now, what I'm probably going to do is actually change his orders to advance. As you can see, it gives you less damage in combat. So they successfully change the order. Sometimes they don't. So they are good to go. So now I'm going to switch over to the green guys here. And I'm going to kind of stop them right at the edge of the woods. Do exactly the same thing I did before.
Into line. March.
This is artillery. Right? Yeah, it's a light artillery battery. And put you in the line.
Company into line. March.
Then got you guys. Put you over here. No, they misinterpret the command. Thank you very much. Which does happen on the higher difficulty levels. Which is unfortunate. Yeah, and they're just going to be retarded, so that's too bad. I'll put my leader behind. And he's good. And then I have these guys that I'll try to put over here. And they're good.
Company into line.
Alright, so I'm pretty satisfied with that. I do have this infantry regiment I'm probably going to actually put up here. So like I said, the Union guys are going to appear very quickly. I do have some cavalry units I'm going to put over here. You can see very slow animations, very few frames per second. Pretty disappointing, and there's my main guy. Alright, so that's pretty good. These guys I'm just going to kind of keep where they're at. They're in these defensive positions. They're outside of the command area, which is what the little stars mean, but that's okay for now. So I suspect I will be encountering some resistance and dropping back eventually. And there you go. As you can probably tell, the game relies on terrain, also has weather. Interestingly, the flintlocks have a penalty for firing in the rain, so that's the kind of historical accuracy they're going for here. You also have to worry about the line of sight, fog of war, supply, morale. And once combat starts, I'll show you how the combat calculations go. They're pretty complex, which is nice. So there are definitely some nice parts to the game, but it's certainly not as approachable as some other titles that have come out somewhere recently. The AI is not great. It's very cautious. We'll see how it plays this for however long I can manage doing it. Combat is all automated. So your officers will actually just pick out targets automatically without you having to designate them or anything. Now what you can do is you can use the division commander to kind of tell them where to focus their fire, but in general they'll just kind of pick whichever target they want to pick, so for better or for worse. It's now day, so I'm going to start seeing these guys here in a second. There they are. Right on the edge of the woods, as I predicted. So this is I go, you go. So you'll do moves, and then they'll have a combat phase, and then they'll do moves, there'll be another combat phase. So it gives you these little briefings. You can turn these off if you want, but I just wanted to show how it does it. It starts out with an attack roll, and then it has all these penalties for all this stuff, and then eventually comes down with a number for damage. The damage and the morale decrease very slowly. The game is very slowly paced. You can see here you have like total damage 1. Yay. And a lot of the time they don't even cause any damage whatsoever.
Load at will.
Damage 1. And that's the entire turn. Alright, so now I'm going to go. Let's see. I'm going to put green on advance, which actually they're already on, so that's nifty. And these guys should be on advance also, so that's good. So we will advance. Perfect. I'd rather you guys face up. Let's see. I'm gonna face you this way. If I can. Up. There you go. Those guys can't advance because they're near enemy units, but I can move this guy up a little bit. And they misinterpret the command. They're stupid. Oh, thanks. That's completely useless. I'm gonna put these guys on line.
My company into line. March!
Where can you fire? Not very many places, so I'm gonna move you up, actually. Yeah, still can't really see anything. Alright, move this guy up though. Don't want to get outside of that command window. So it's really painful watching these animations go. This doesn't look like a game that came out in 2015. Alright, that's enough. It also shows all the combat from this very zoomed out perspective with the NATO symbols. So... kind of clicking through here. Very modest casualties. Like, each turn is supposed to be 20 minutes. So, like, one guy died in 20 minutes. Okay. Now, damage does increase as the battles progress, but still. It's a very slow-paced game. We're winning 8-10. Yay. At least in terms of casualties. You know, they're retreating. That's good.
Keep your fire.
Took out 3.
Load at will.
You can see it has the same damage numbers on the screen too. So I got 1, they got 3. Take that all day. Yay, I guess. Alright, so my turn again. Well, we're gonna keep on advancing, aren't we? Tempted to pull this guy up in the victory hex. I think it's what I'm gonna do. Then I'm gonna face him this way. Yep, you can't move because of that guy. Oop, this guy can actually go up 1. I don't really want to do that though. Oh, you guys stink. Seriously. Now he's out of command anyway. I gotta move my guy up. Each hex is supposed to be 75 yards, if you're keeping track of such things. Alright, so this gun, yeah, that gun doesn't do crap. Still don't even really need this cavalry. Not yet, anyway. You know, some of the scenarios have like a whole ton of units, like an entire army is worth. So you spend a lot of time ordering people around.
In place.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, that's them killing me. But I got them the same amount.
Commence fire!
Alright, so I got that one victory location. Now we're getting some casualties.
Load at will.
Alright, keep on trucking. Really could use cavalry on the right side to scout, but... Oh, hey guys. What's happening? There's everybody. Yeah, let's do... Actually, let's do assault. That's right, though. I might actually change the other guys to assault, too. Yeah, let's try to change everybody to assault. So we'll change it at the end of the turn, but... Yeah, you guys are fine for now, I think. Can't really move much of you anyway. Alright, I think I'm good, actually. We're about to get some shooting going on, though.
In place.
Whew, 19.
Don't shoot till I...
Those guys are going at it. Yeah, get out of there.
Load at will. Commence fire!
Yeah, I'm really kicking their butt on casualties right now. See what happens after they move. My 2 frames per second here.
Steady, man!
I gotta take that artillery in and out.
Keep your fire! Keep your fire!
Oof.
We'll wallop them now, sir! Hold the line!
Ah, boo.
Fire low!
Be a problem is that battery over there. Probably gonna take those guys back.
Hold the line!
Yeah, and they're panicking too. A lot of stuff on that turn. Yay, routing. Okay, let's move these guys back. Oh, yeah, of course you did. And you can't turn around, so you're gonna get shot in the back. That's cool. Whatever. I'll play a couple more turns. Bring these guys up. These guys are okay. Now I'll just see what happens here.
Ready?
Oh, good.
Dress up the
Oh, good.
right! Keep cool! Hold the line!
Oh, good.
Keep your fire! Commence fire! We'll walk them now, sir!
Woohoo. Hehe. Alright, I think that gives you a good idea about the game. Like I said, it does have some good things. I like the aspect of the interface that shows what command units are under. I also like the bridge-wide stance or brigade-wide stances, like this assault mode that you could change and stuff. That's a really neat way of handling it. The interface in the game itself is really low resolution. This text looks terrible. It's almost unreadable in places. It has very poor animations that are like a couple frames per second. It simply doesn't look like a modern game. War games have long been not very graphically intensive or polished, and this certainly continues that trend of making the game less approachable because of it. It's come to a point now, there's enough engines out there that you could use to make something look halfway decent and still be a strategic game with a lot of depth. It does have a lot of things that it simulates between morale, all the equipment. It's available, the weapons misfiring in the rain. It does have a lot of large scenarios that you can play in, and online multiplayer as well. So it definitely has some features, but the presentation and some of the other AI shortcomings and stuff like that makes it not as appealing as other Civil War titles. So that's all I have for today. Until next time, bye now.